is tested. One night, he dreams that he cuts his son's throat. This dream becomes a turning point and a strong difference between the two generations of Abraham's children, in such a way that most of Isaac's children consider that son to be Isaac, and most of Ishmael's children consider that son to be Ishmael. But why is there a disagreement? Because God has placed a special feature in the generation of that sacrificed boy, and promises the kingdom and rule over the earth, and the promises the abundance of their generation. So, wherever there is a power and government, people like to seize it and abuse it. But which child was actually sacrificed? We examine this according to the sources of each of these religions. It's written in Torah. But Abraham has two children, not one. And secondly, if Abraham does not respect Ishmael and does not consider him as his son, well, this is against the Torah itself, because according to Deuteronomy, this rejects the opinion because Ishmael is the firstborn. And also in the Gospel of Barnabas, chapter 44, it confirms this issue. The Torah contains many differences in many versions. For example, the Samaritan Torah and the Jewish Torah have about 6,000 differences. On the other hand, we have hundreds of versions of the Bible that have differences in them. But there is only one version of the Quran in the whole world, and it's completely unique. So the possibility of distortion in the previous book is obviously higher. With this interpretation of the Quran clearly confirms that the child is Ishmael. In the Quran there is a chapter called Abraham, which in verse 39 specifies the order of Abraham's children. Not to mention, in the verses of the Quran, the order of words is observed. For example, the East should come first, then the West, Jews, then Christ, Jinn, then humans, and etc. Also in Surah Safat, verses 102, it gives the reward of the son who is sacrificed, and after his sacrifice, he gives the good news of Isaac's birth. The next reason is that in Genesis, God said, "We'll give from Nile to Euphrates to the children of Abraham." Well, it's clear in the map that God fulfilled his promise, because all these countries are all Muslim and the children of Ishmael and Abraham. And the last thing, as we said before, God promised multiplication of Abraham's descendants to the numbers of stars. And on the other hand, the Israelites were always confined and did not marry anyone other than themselves. Also in Genesis 70, he promised a great nation and 12 leaders from the descendants of Ishmael. And according to the statistic, you can see the percentage of Jews and the percentage of Muslims, which is larger, and it forms a great nation. But who are those 12 leaders from Ishmael's generation? These 12 people are neither the 12 tribes of Israel nor the 12 apostles of Christ, because those 12 leaders are from the descendants of Ishmael, not Isaac. These 12 important persons were called Nasim or Nashim in the original Hebrew versions of Torah, actually have a higher degree than Nabi or prophet. Nasim is Hebrew and its meaning is formed from people, or in Arabic, Nas. They are responsible for controlling and guiding all human beings and universe. There are two main groups in the children of Ishmael in Islam, include Sunni and Shia. In the teaching of Shia, there are full names and characteristics of these 12 great men who are called Imams, and they are the 12 Imams and the children of the Prophet of Islam and his beloved daughter. So all these facts lead us to this conclusion: the sacrificed son was Ishmael.